Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited today to share with you something new that we have planned for our weaving community here at SweetGeorgia. And that is this November, we want to start something called the Winterful WeaveAlong. And this is a weave-along that is meant to be open to everyone. Whether you have a rigid heddle loom or a multishaft loom, we want to be able to enjoy weaving something completely together and being able to enjoy a lot of these weave structures, a lot of play with color, working with different yarns and different textures and seeing all the colors mix and blend. All of that fun can be had by both rigid heddle weavers and multi-shaft weavers. And so this is a weave-along that we're going to start this November with the goal of weaving a project called the Kaleidoscope Scarf. Now, the Kaleidoscope Scarf is a pattern that was designed by Amanda Wood, who teaches rigid heddle weaving at the School of SweetGeorgia. So earlier this year, we asked Amanda to design something that would be really inspiring and something really fun to weave. And so she came up with this design of using one package of our SweetGeorgia Party of 5 mini skeins together with one full skein of Tough Love sock and combining those two things in this beautiful color and weave pattern that we recognize as log cabin. And so she's written this great pattern for rigid heddle weavers, and that can also be converted and woven by multi-shaft weavers on a multi-shaft loom. So the Kaleidoscope Scarf is a color and weave scarf with that log cabin, classic log cabin look. It is entirely woven in plain weave. It's really the placement of the light and dark colors in the warp and the weft and how they interlace. That is basically what creates the log cabin design that we see in the fabric. But this scarf is entirely woven in plain weave. So it's definitely something that is hopefully approachable, achievable, and something that's hopefully inspiring to you as well. The timeline for this weave along is basically from now until approximately December 23rd. The pattern was actually released and is available right now. So you can go to our store, shop.sweetgeorgiayarns.com, to buy the pattern, or if you are a School of SweetGeorgia member, you get this pattern for free as part of your membership. So you can log into your SOS account and go to the pattern section and you will find this pattern to download. The pattern is, of course, like I mentioned, designed by Amanda Wood to suit rigid heddle weavers. So the instructions are all geared towards rigid heddle weavers. But because I also do multi-shaft weaving, I am doing a sort of a conversion or a translation of the pattern instructions. And so I can share that with our SOS members as well if you happen to want to weave this on a multi-shaft loom. So we will officially start warping and getting our looms ready on November the 12th. And then from that point on, we are going to share some tips and techniques for how to warp your loom, how to wind a warp, how to change colors. Amanda's also written some articles, including how to use a warping mill, how to do indirect warping, how to do hybrid warping. So there's a lot of tips and techniques that we can learn throughout this entire process. And then there's going to be a couple of weeks where we're all going to be weaving away. And during that time, we are hosting a number of meetups that coincide with our regular online meetups. We have meetings every month on Mondays for the multi-craftual group, and that is definitely open to everyone. Anyone can come and join that Zoom call where we're talking about all the things that we're making. Part of that call might go towards talking about this particular weave along. We also have a monthly SOS Weavers meeting, which is open to all the weavers in the school if they want to ask sort of nitty-gritty questions about what they're weaving or working on. So you are absolutely more than welcome to join that too if you are an SOS member. And then somewhere near the middle of December, I'm going to send out an invite to ask you to share some of the photos of the projects that you've already woven with this particular pattern or any works in progress that you might have. I would love to be able to share your work with our entire community through our SweetGeorgia blog. And so I invite you guys to do that as well. In order to participate in this weave along, you basically just need a few things. You need a loom, so either a rigid heddle loom or a multi-shaft loom. It could be a floor loom, it could be a table loom. It needs to have at least an 8-inch wide weaving width. And Amanda has specified using a 12.5 dent reed, but you could also use a 12 dent reed if you happen to have that handy. So that's basically all you need. And then you need yarn. So for yarn, we were using a SweetGeorgia Party of 5 mini skein set, plus one full skein of Tough Love sock, also a sock yarn. If you happen to have a hand spun, you can use that. If you happen to have sock blanks, you could use that. My only caveat here is I encourage you to make sure that there's good contrast between your mini skeins and your solid color. Your solid color becomes the border color of your pattern, and if they're too close in sort of value, then it can all look a little bit muddied, or you might really like that. That might produce a totally different effect altogether. But if you want to see the sharp lines of this sort of pattern, of the log cabin pattern, then you'll want to make sure that you have some good contrast between the colors that you choose. So how do you join the Weave Along? Basically, all you need to do is go to our website, sweetgeorgiayarns.com/winterful-weave-along. So it's Winterful Weave Along. And then just scroll to the bottom and then sign up for our email list. And then every Monday or every week, we're going to send you some information about what we're doing that particular week, whether it is warping or dressing the loom, juggling 2 shuttles, hopefully some helpful tips or tutorials that can help you along with your weaving process. So that's basically it. Sign up at sweetgeorgiayarns.com/winterful-weavealong, and then you'll also find a link to our Discord channel, our public Discord, where you can come and chat all you like about all the things that you're weaving or spinning or knitting or dyeing or whatever you're working on. But we will have a channel dedicated to the Winterful Weave-Along in our Discord channel, so you can sign up there as well. This is going to be an amazing pattern to play with color, watching colors mix and blend, and creating some beautiful things that maybe you can enjoy this winter or give away as holiday gifts. So that's it. I'm looking forward to weaving with you. Bye for now.